Hi, everyone. Welcome to another interview with our successful business analysis practitioners. Today, we will be interacting with Kahinde, and we will listen to her journey of becoming CBAP certified. So, thank you, Kahinde, for giving us this time, and congratulations on achieving this milestone of becoming CBAP certified.
Thank you.
Uh, and before we begin with this feedback session, if you can tell us about yourself, what you were doing before becoming CBAP certified, your professional experience, that would be great.
Yeah, thank you for having me. So I've been a business analyst for 6 years, 6+ years now. So basically, I've worked. My first business analyst experience was in FMCG, working with FMCG companies. And then I switched to insurance companies, working with insurance companies and contract based anyway. And then currently I work with the second largest utility company in the UK. Yeah, so that's basically my professional experience. But and beyond my professional experience, I'm supported by my family. I have a troublesome 2-year old, and also beyond my professional experience as well. I like to read, watch movies, and also travel. So that's me.
Sounds great. Sounds great. I asked this question to almost everyone who successful business analysis practitioners who I interview. Why CBAP? There are so many certifications available in the market related
Yeah.
to business analysis. Any specific reason why you went for CBAP?
For me, I would say it's positioning. Yeah, that's the one word that would, describe my why of, writing the CBAP exam, positioning. And when I say positioning, so in the UK, the CBAP certification is not, I would say it is useful, but the UK also they have their own certification. Everyone in the UK knows this. It's called the British Computer Society, which is the BCS certification for business analysis. But I decided to go for CBAP because I've done my research. I feel like CBAP is more globally known. I mean, if BCS is just is constricted to the British society, like in the UK, but the CBAP certification is known globally, like US, Canada, Middle East, and like generally globally CBAP is accepted. So for me it's positioning, and also of course it looks good on your CV as well when you say you are certified business analyst professional from IIBA. So and it's not even about the money as well, because I just feel like it's an experience that I want to have, writing the exam, and also leveling up in my career as well. So that's my why for for writing CBA.
Mhm. Rightly said. I mean, CBAP is one of the certifications which is globally known
Yeah,
and recognized. Every country has their own certifications as well, specific to
yeah,
their uh, culture, say working culture, say organizations. So yeah, UK has its own as well. Now, the most toughest part is the preparation, right? You anything the change, the start has always been the toughest, and
yeah.
to follow this preparation on daily basis takes a lot of effort, a lot of perseverance as well. So let's now talk about your preparation plan. How did that go? How did you plan for CBAP?
So let me start from I joined IIBA last year June as a member. I've been following them, but I joined officially as a member in June. So before then, to be honest, I've been seeing people write CBAP and all that, but I was just looking at their website, seeing people with CBAP, going on LinkedIn, and all that. And so I decided to write CBAP like October last year. So yeah, and because you're a member, you can have access to the book. So I downloaded the book and I started reading it. Although it didn't make sense to me, I was reading the book. I was like, okay, let me see if I can do this. So I said, okay, let me see if I can write this exam, and I started reading in October. But I just knew that I needed more help. Like I can't write this exam like just reading the book. So and that's why I then signed up at Techcanvass in November. So Ash was our trainer, and I couldn't join the training like online because the timing, it was between 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. our time in the UK. So yeah, just listen to the recordings, and so I started preparing for the exam, and listening to recordings. And when I did the training with Tech Canvas, it gave me like a new perspective reading the book. So I registered for my exam like in January. So I made up my mind fully in January, and then I chose March, 8th of March for my exam. So from January, so I had this in mind that okay, so like it gave me that purpose, like okay, my exam is the 8th of March. So when I go to work, I'm always thinking, oh, I had a CBAP exam, and I'm always, even like on my phone, I'm always reading the book, reading all extra materials that Ash sends to us on WhatsApp. So yeah, that's my preparation. So as I decided to write the CBAP exam last year October, but then I registered for the exam in January, and I would
Okay.
say my level of seriousness as well increased when I paid for the exam.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
It's
this is it. Now this is it. Yeah. So that's it
yeah.
basically.
All right. I mean, it's actually a good tip as well. Just select the date. Don't wait until you feel that okay, I'm 100% ready now to write the exam, which probably might not even come.
Yeah.
You might not even reach that stage that I'm 100% ready now. So yeah, always select the date and uh, follow the move follow your approach towards that date. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. You know, there are a lot of challenges when you prepare for such an exam, when you prepare for a professional certifications. Do you want to talk about your challenges and how you overcame them?
Yes. I would say one of the challenge is I know many people say when you're writing, when you're preparing for your CBAP, you need to throw away your experience and then treat CBAP as as a textbook was. For me, like I I don't agree with that. Basically, let me say I would say the Bible guide is like a general, like a Bible or general guide to business analysis. And for me, I could relate to some of the elements in the knowledge areas, although it might be worded differently. But the truth is, it's still related to your past experiences. So I would say some of the challenges were understanding, like the especially the parts where they'll say the technique for this knowledge area or the stakeholders for this knowledge area. I mean, it makes sense that the stakeholder will be involved, and it makes sense to use this technique, but like agreeing that this is the only technique for this knowledge area, because it's like a bible you have to follow. So that's one of the challenges I encountered as well. And also and as a business analyst, like sometimes you join projects like midway stage, or like planning phase, or so I struggled with solution evaluation knowledge area as well, because I'm involved in, like, it's just basically like eliciting requirements, writing BRDs and all that. So I wasn't so the solution knowledge area itself, I read it like 4 or 5 times to really understand it. And I also spoke to like other business analysts, like, okay, have you been involved with like the after, like post implementation of a project, like I mean, I've been involved with post implementation of a project, but like basically like 80% bulk of my work is eliciting requirements, writing BRDs and so on. So like I haven't like all the knowledge areas, like I haven't really had experience with all of them. So I had to like read and read and read and understand the knowledge areas very well. So the ones I couldn't understand, so I started, reading and reading. And one of the challenges as well, um, when I when I started doing the mock exam or the mock test on the Techcanvass page. So sometimes I would encounter a question, and in my head, I'm like, no, this should be the correct answer. But then when I choose the answer and and I see the explanation, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense then. So it's about like opening your mind, like preparing your mind to learn, to unlearn, learn, and and relearn stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, and it took you around 5 to 6 months to complete the certification,
So
right?
my, the I read the Bible guide first of all, like just I just read it like you're reading like a
Yeah.
storybook. I read it for one time. I read it like a storybook, and then when I signed up for Tech Canvas. So when Ash was teaching us, so it then opened my mind like to look like to read key points in the book, like points I've probably overlooked while reading it at first. So I started reading it with that mind of the exam, and then Ash also explained the how the exam would look like, and how IIBA hacks their questions. Like you won't get a direct question like, okay, what would happen after confirming elicitation result? No, they will ask. It's like application question. So when you read a question, you have to interpret it in your mind and say, oh, okay, what this person is doing at this stage is conducting elicitation. So of course, what should happen is to confirm. But the question wouldn't be like that. So I would say I read Babok 3 times. The first time I just read it like randomly. And then when I signed up for Tech Canvas, then it then opened my eyes to start reading in between the lines and saying, okay, okay, let me. So I started highlighting those areas and noting them in my mind for the exam. And so after reading one knowledge area, I would go to the Tech Canvas exam portal, the mock question, and then do the test on that knowledge area. And I would only stop when I've scored like 8/10 or 9/10 or like 80% basically. So yeah, so that's how I did it.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Now you're CBAP certified, and your I want to know about your experience with Tech Canvas. Was it the entire training, or was it the course material? Was it trainer? Which you liked the most? Uh,
Honestly, I would say the trainer first. I don't think I've spoken to Ash before. I just listened to his video. Like I said, the time difference was like 6 hours difference or five and a half hours difference. So I just listened to his video, and as I was listening to his lectures, I was nodding my head in agreement, like, okay, this makes sense. And like I said, it really opened my eyes to learning how to read the Babok. Like before, I was just reading it like verbatim, and
yeah,
signing up with Tech Canvas, the trainer was, and also what really helped me as well, is a cheat sheet that I
yeah,
think Ash has a cheat. No, that really that was fantastic. Yeah, till now I have that cheat sheet in my head. Yeah, so I know that okay, for confirm elicitation, any domain, like all those and then PFBTC, all those kind of mnemonics,
yeah,
requirements, attributes, those CCS surpass and all those mnemonics that Ash gave us. It was really, really helpful. So and it's not even like at first it would look like we are cramming it. But when you read the Babok, you would know that okay, this makes sense. It doesn't. You don't even need to cram this. But the mnemonics really, really, really helped. And also the question bank. I told Sibangi the other day when she rang me. I said I feel like Tech Canvas mock questions are even more harder than the CBAP exam I wrote. Yeah, they're very hard. Like sometimes when I do the exam, I always feel inferior. Like, oh my god, this is very hard. Yeah. So because I appreciate that because then it makes you like you can then prepare. It's better to be over prepared than be under
Yeah,
prepared. Yeah,
I
so
agree.
it makes you prepared and all that. So the question bank, it was really really good. So I remember before going writing my exam, I wrote all the mock the full length question, the 1 to 120 question. I did that. So I remember doing it the first time, and I had 79 over 120, which is like 67%. So at that point, I started panicking. I said, "Oh my god!" Oh, and my exam was, I think, 10 days at that time. I was like, "Oh god, will I fail this exam?" But when I read the explanation, um, like the ones I had missed, so I wrote them again. I did them again, and then I had 80%, I had 70%. Then I knew, yes, I think I'm ready for the exam. And I think also when you asked me about the challenges, did you ask me about the challenge while writing the exam as well?
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
any
Yeah,
challenge.
while
Yes.
writing the exam, honestly, like I knew there were case study questions, like Ash told us. So the first 40 questions were case study questions. So when I saw the first question and it was like calculation, like no, it threw me off balance. I won't lie.
Okay.
So, but the from question 41 to 120, that just like the question bank, and so it was good. It was all right. But the case study questions, God, it was it threw me off at first. But because Ash had also taught us how to approach case study questions, like just look at, you don't even need to read everything. Sometimes just look at um the question, and then you can already know what the case study is about. So it was really
Mm,
really helpful, and also you could mark questions for review and go back later.
yeah.
So the questions that threw me off balance basically were calculation questions.
Mm,
Yeah, and because the CBAP exam, like the platform, they had their own calculator and things like that. So I found it hard at first to like use their own calculator, but I figured it out anyway. So yeah, so like the case study questions can really throw you off balance, but with practice, with more questions and all that, you definitely get it. And so of it's common sense as well. Like just being calm and read the question again. So for example, the calculation questions, like I just chose any answer and then I marked it for review. And then when I was done with the last question, I went back. I was like, okay, this is what they're asking. For instance, there was a question about, I think, was it solution evaluation, and then they gave us a table where the cost of each solution, and then they said if the cost of this one is reduces by 50%, like what will be the impact. So of course you have to like do apply certain calculations to that, and then you get the answer. So yeah, generally like the case study questions to me were the hardest way maybe, but the rest, like from 41 to 120, they were quite easy. And of course that's because I've practiced with the more
yeah.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm actually done with the session. Just one last question from my side. And you have shared few of those tips in between our interaction. I just wanted to ask any top three tips which you want to share with the viewers.
Yeah, I would say mindsets. First of
Okay.
all, change your mindset. Yes, it is. Maybe people might say it's difficult, but I would say it's difficult for only for those who have not prepared. So change your
Okay.
mindset first and say, yes, I can do this. I can achieve this. Also, I would say my second tip as well is like when reading Babok, you need to don't be distracted. Open your mind, and also like read in between the lines. You really need to learn how to read in between the lines when reading Bab when reading Babok. Um, Also, some people say join study groups, join study groups, or I didn't join any study group, honestly. It
Hmm.
can help to join study group. I didn't join a study group because I did not have the chance to because of my family. Like I read Babok only when I'm about to sleep, like an hour before sleeping. I just take my system and read. Um, so if you can have a study guide. I'm not saying you follow it through, but just dedicate an hour a day and read, even if it's one chapter. For example, because of my schedule, like my very, very strict schedule, balancing work, family, and all that, I had like I transferred my Babok textbook to my work desktop. So on my lunch break, or if I just have any, free time at work, I would just open my Bible book and, just read the techniques. And so no time is wasted, trust me. Even if you get like 2 points from just reading in 10 minutes, it's okay and it counts for something. So have a study guide. I'm not saying you follow the study guide verbatim, but have it in you have a plan, have a study guide, and say, okay, 30 minutes a day, 1 hour a day. This is what I want to read. Or even this week, I would read the strategy analysis knowledge area, or I would read this knowledge area this week. Just have a plan and make sure you follow it through. Yeah.
Yep.
So those are the tips I
So
think
sounds
should be.
good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, Kahinde. I mean, it was amazing interacting with you, and all the best for your
Thank you.
future, and
Thank you.
congratulations again.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for giving us this time. Have a great day.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Take care. Bye.